Good evening, everyone. Back in the studio with Whitney Asya here, where we
everybody.
discuss some of your most important topics.
Yes.
We'd love to hear more about what you're interested in, but today we did get a hot topic discussion about some of the preparation that happens on paper. So right here, what we
More
have...
specifically, the paper napkins.
Right, the paper napkins, correct. Yes, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So one of the things that we're finding is that these paper napkins have a tendency to be very flaky, especially if you're using and losing certain parts of your congealment onto these. So, for instance, we did find here that this non-perforated paper
Exactly.
had a little bit of the spots on it. Now, we're not sure whose this is or
No.
what exactly was
Right,
wiped
and we
on
don't
it.
recommend touching other people's napkins
Right.
that are dirty.
Right, exactly. But we did have a question. How does this paper napkin that does not have a preparation compare, yes, to this? So with Whitney Asya here, we would like to discuss some of these pleats that you see here.
Right,
And
thank you.
specifically, how are they on certain parts that come out of here, 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 and other areas?
What parts? The parts of the napkin, how to utilize them for the other
Exactly,
parts? Okay, that's a
exactly,
good question.
yes.
That's actually a very valid point because people use napkins in all different ways. Now, of course, when we eat, we tend to wipe our mouth. If we want to sneeze, we tend to wipe our nose. It doesn't matter if something's in your ear, you might even like itch your ear. I mean, whatever it is. Now, the thing is, napkins typically, depending on the size and depending on the price and where you get them from, you might just find a napkin like so, where it's really gross and you don't have a perforation, and so you see how it's a little bit scrungy and weird. But when you get like a really good napkin like this, and I know it looks a little bit wrinkly, but we've been really on the road talking about this, and this is our prime napkin
That's
that we
right,
show
right.
everybody.
This is our example.
I'm not sure if you can see, but there is a border of a perforation. Now what that does is, no matter how you utilize this, whether you're blowing your nose or you're wiping your lipstick off, which is
Right,
huge.
right.
I mean,
Yes.
listen, ladies, this is the best thing for you because it does not scrunch up like that. You can't scrunch it. It's like very flattened. See how if we go like this, it does not break, okay? But you have something like so, like this is one of those paper towels. Oh, it
There
broke.
you go.
It broke.
Yes. So
There's
now you
no
can't utilize
perforation.
that.
You
Right,
can't
right,
utilize
right.
that.
Now, I actually also heard that a little bit about the history of this preparation was that originally it was used to scoop some of the larger parts that you lose from your body. So, in other words, if
things
there's
that
any
you expel.
saliva, right, exactly, anything that comes out of your orifices. So, how do you think now that the people are a little bit cleaner and they have better hygiene and they're probably expelling some of the stuff from their orifices directly away from the sight of other people, how do you think this is still relevant in our lives? I actually heard in a current rap song, there was some idea that came out about "Don't you dare touch my perforation. I need that for my preparation."
Right.
Now, I happen to really connect with that line because
Wow.
I often think about my preparation and using it on some of my orifices. So, how would you
Right.
feel about that? Do you think it's relevant to today's youth?
I mean, it definitely is relevant to today's youth, and of course, you brought up a valid point too that it is part of a song, and so we do think of that, and it's funny because I tend to think of that also. I love that rapper. That is such a great
It's in
line.
pop culture.
isn't it?
It's so great.
It's so
Yes.
great. So basically, what I would say is the good thing about these types of napkins is see they open up really big. Okay, so it's still very sturdy. And how it's relevant is, like you were saying, a lot of people, depending on what comes out of you, you're right. It is more sanitized it's in today's world where people really, they don't need to use this, but this is so handy because look, you can actually fold it and make it so small that it can fit in any pocket, in your purse, in your anything. So when you need it, you can take it out.
Oh, that's
so
great.
you don't always have to feel like, oh no, what am I gonna do? I don't know how to be sanitized. This is just a great way to get all of that out and then just fold it up and put it away because guess what? The edges will hold every single thing in.
That's amazing. And the last point I just want to bring up, we're running out of time a little bit here, but I did want to say, you also mentioned in the latest documentary that you can actually use this to smuggle illegal substances out of the country. So what you would do is you would kind of fold them in this napkin, 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 and then when you would fold and it would be folded, you actually can sneak this past a ton of different places, dogs, canine units, because they can't detect
Right.
some of the
No.
protection of this paper good. So would you recommend that for using the things like makeup, glitter, pasta sauce, snot, other materials that you want to smuggle, particularly out of the USA?
That is also another valid question. I mean, it's very controversial right now. So
Yes.
what we like to do is that, and I know that in one of my documentaries I did show it folded up like that, but because
Right.
we did that, people have recognized it, and
With
so
the
they
cheese,
know.
with the cheese, I did see that part.
Right.
There was the Parmesan
Exactly,
cheese that
and
you
I
used
don't
to
condone
take it out of
smuggling,
the-
but if you
Right.
have to smuggle, if you have to
Right.
smuggle something illegal and you need to do it, you need a perforated napkin. Now,
Right.
because in our, like I said in the first documentary, we had it so you couldn't smuggle it out through that like tiny little folding. Now what we did was we came up with another type of folding initiative. So let me just show you, like, so we're gonna take all the corners and fold them in. Okay, thank you for the camera
Wanna
angle.
zoom in on that a
Yeah,
little
we're
bit?
gonna zoom in on this. Now we're gonna fold it as if it's like a small square. All we did was we took all the corners and put them in, right? Then we're gonna flip it around. It's very simple. Oh wait, cameraman, you're so close. Okay, now we flipped it around and we're gonna fold it back the opposite way. So now people won't even recognize this. It's not gonna be a small thing. And then you go like this, and then look.
Right,
now,
and see,
all of
right,
a
now see, you
sudden-
wouldn't be able to do this with the
You can't
bounty
do that
just
with
because
bounty.
bounty can be detected, and this is again primarily for.
And this is how it is. Because now it's like you have a finger.
That's amazing.
puppet,
You just did that
you know?
right away.
Yes, I
For
did.
more about making paper goods puppetry and smuggling things to impoverished children all over the world, we tune in to Whitney Allman every day. Make sure you make her a part of your family. And
That's
for
right.
more smuggling Parmesan cheese tips, please do write to us today.
Thank you.